Orders of the business.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, I think I had, in the morning, Honorable Fred had raised an issue about a motion on delocalization and redeployment of roads engineer, water engineers, and sub-county and ward administrators. I have been seized upon a document that was received on 24th, I think today. It is a letter from the CS that, not a letter from the CS, I'm sorry, there was, not a letter, there's a request, I think Honorable Fred has written to the Speaker, and it reads as follows. I make reference to the motion on delocalization and redeployment of road engineers, water engineers, and sub-county and ward administrators, which was moved by himself and adopted by the House on 28th of May 2020. In the same context, a statement of the implementation of the same was sought by Honorable Cynthia Muge on 9th September 2020, and the Committee of Implementation had yet to submit a response to the House. So he seeks that the same be referred to the Committee of General Supervisions for consideration, and was seeking the Speaker to act. So my directions will be, as we had agreed in the morning, and I can see there is a request for statement by Honorable Cynthia Muge, dated 9th September 2020. There is also a motion by Honorable Fred Kipkemboi. It was adopted by the House. It is a motion dated 28th May 2020. And I think the Implementation Committee had also mentioned in the morning that they're also considering the issue of the 381. So together with that, I direct that on Tuesday mid-morning, when we have already, as directed in the morning, we've directed the CS as well as the health team to be here. This will be part of the consideration under the chairmanship of the Implementation Committee chair. So Tuesday mid-morning, this will be part of the agenda, and the letter of summon, County Secretary has included the same. So the same is dispensed. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Honorable Fred.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I stand to give the report on Committee of Justice, Labor, Justice and Legal Affairs Committee report on Constitutional of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020. I table.
Boniface. I acknowledge the tabling of the report on the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020 by the Labor, Justice and Legal Affairs Committee Chairperson as tabled by Honorable Fred Kipkemboi. The same has been scheduled by the House Business Committee for consideration tomorrow afternoon. Copies via avail for every single member. Ensure that by the time you leave this chamber, you have a copy of the same. Next order. Honorable Walter.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to table a report on County and Budget Appropriation Committee on the 2020 Nandi County Budget Review Outlook paper, that is CIPROF. I beg to table.
Having been properly tabled by the Budget and Appropriation Committee Chair, the Nandi County Budget Review and Outlook paper report as prepared by the committee is therefore valid for consideration by the House. And I think House Business Committee had scheduled the same for consideration next week on Tuesday afternoon. Next time, I think for the chair of the committee, under the standing orders, a committee report, select committee report can only be tabled by the chair. In the absence of the chair, the vice chair. In the absence of either, the chair can nominate a member of the committee. Minus a written nomination, a member cannot table. So Honorable Walter, in your absence, Honorable Robert Kirwa could not table the report. That's why you have to retable it today. So that is in order, and that should be the message to chairs and vice chairs. When you are feeling that you may not make it on time, make sure you write and sign against a member that you feel would be able to be there on time. So it is important for the same. So the same is committed. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Honorable Fred.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I stand to give the notice of motion. I wish to give a notice that this House adopt the report of Labor, Justice and Legal Affairs Committee laid on the table of the House today on 24 February 2021.
Next order. Honorable Walter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to give a notice of motion on the report of Budget and Appropriation Committee on the CIPROF 2020.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Next order.
Order number 8, motion.
Honorable Buambok.
Honorable Speaker, I wish to move that this House adopts the report of Delegated County Legislation Committee on Nandi County Assembly Fund Regulation 2021, laid on the table of the House on 24 February 2021, this morning. Honorable Speaker, the Committee on Delegated County Legislation is established under
Honorable
the Nandi...
Buambok, just as per precedent, we normally skip those recitals so that in order to save time,
Okay.
we just proceed to give background and background, committee findings, and recommendation. Just that.
Okay.
That will be enough. Number 2, number 3, and number 4.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me first have an acknowledgement. The committee wishes to record its appreciation to the Office of the Honorable Speaker and the Clerk of the County Assembly of Nandi for facilitation in the fulfillment of its mandate. The committee is also grateful for all the honorable members and the staff of the County Assembly for the services they render to the committee. It is their commitment and dedication to duty that made the work of the committee and a production of this report possible. With your permission, Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the members of the committee, I beg to table the committee report on the Nandi County Assembly Fund Regulations 2021. Background, Honorable Speaker. The Salaries and Remuneration Commission Circular under reference SRC TSCOG 3/6148 Volume 2 113 Address to the Council of Governors on the review of the car loan for the Speaker and the members of the County Assembly. Gave the clearance for the conversion of the existing car loan facility advance to members into a car grant. To actualize the conversion of the car loan into a car grant, it became necessary to alter the existing laws to accommodate the changes and to facilitate access of the grant to members. The regulation seek to merge and consolidate the Nandi County Assembly car loan member scheme, Fund Regulation number 4 of 2018, and Nandi County Assembly Mortgage Member Scheme Fund, Regulation number 5 of 2018. Committee and observations on the regulation. The committee noted that the following on the regulations, the regulation conform to the Constitution and all enabling laws. P, the regulations passes all the requirements set out under the mandate of the committee as stated above. Since the regulations are new, the year on the title ought to read 2021 and not 2018. Committee recommendations and conclusion, Honorable Speaker. The committee, having found the regulations to be in consonance with the Constitution and all the enabling laws, recommends that the Nandi County Assembly Fund regulations be adopted for the House. The attached documents are there, Honorable Speaker, and I hope members will go through. There is the Salaries and Recommendation Committee Commission Circular, which is behind the Nandi County Assembly Fund regulations. I hope honorable members will go through that one. Maybe, only Speaker, may I only quote the SRC review only. Taking into account, Honorable Speaker, the principles of equity and fairness and affordability and fiscal sustainability, the SRC hereby reviews the car loan benefit as set earlier to a transport facility benefit in the form of car grant, subject to the following implementation guidelines. 1. The car grant is a transport facilitation benefit payable to the Speaker and the member of the County Assembly. 2. Conversion of the car loan facility to a car grant will be undertaken within the available car loan facility funds of Kenya shillings 4.5 billion and will not affect the expenditure ceiling as provided by the CRA. Upon conversion, the existing car loan shall cease, and the Speaker and the members of the County Assembly who have already benefited on the existing car loan shall convert their car loan to transport facilitation benefit in form of the car grant. In view of the ongoing remuneration review process, to inform the 2021, 2022, 2024, and 2025 remuneration review cycle, the conversion of this benefit is only applicable to the current Speaker and the members of the County Assembly. And the operationalization of conversion of the car loan for the Speaker and the members of the County Assembly to transport facilitation benefit in form of a car grant be undertaken administratively by the respective county government. The purpose of this letter, therefore, Honorable Speaker, as stated by the convey the Commission's review of the car loan benefit to a transport facilitation benefit in the form of a car grant. That one was the review of the SRC. Honorable Speaker, another attached documents as it is there, I hope honorable members will go through, and I wish to call upon Honorable Charles Mayo to second. Thank you.
Honorable Fred.
Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa kupata habari kwa hii sheria tunaipitisha leo ya kwamba ile loan tulipata tulitumia sheria gani, kwa sababu hii ingekuwa marekebisho. Mheshimiwa Spika, unajua nashangaa mlikuwa mnatumia sheria gani? Kwa sababu unajua hakuna siku utabadilisha sheria yote, labda kufanya marekebisho. Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa sababu sijaona mahali imerekebishwa, naona tu ni sheria mpya. Mheshimiwa Spika.
Honorable Fred, let me first propose a question, then I can answer you. I therefore wish to propose that the motion as moved by Honorable Bombok be discussed. But answering Honorable Fred, I think what is provided here is an amendment. And if you look at the attached addendum, maybe they should have highlighted, the table clerks should have highlighted. You will find that on the interpretation side, loan has been turned to grant. So this was the regulations we had, but this is the amended version. It only needed to be highlighted. They needed to highlight them. So the report they have replaced the word loans with grant when it comes to the transport facility. So let the members discuss on the same. Honorable Fred.
Mheshimiwa Spika, pia ningependa kupata habari. Nimefuata sana, sioni mahali inasema ya kwamba waheshimiwa wangapi watakuwa kwa hiyo kamati. Nimeona tu Mheshimiwa Clark yeye ndiye atakuwa na uamuzi ya kuchagua wafanyakazi wengine. Nimejaribu kupitia, labda waheshimiwa watatuambia. Ndio ningependa kupata habari, kwa sababu hii sheria kama ni wafanyakazi, sasa ina haja gani kupitisha?
Honorable Fred, I think there's a standing committee led by Honorable Komen. There's a standing committee chaired by Honorable Komen, deputized by Honorable Pius Murray. That is under there. But
Mheshimiwa Spika, inachakuliwa namna gani? Unajua kama sheria imepitishwa, hata mimi nilikuwa ndani.
It is in the regulations.
Mbali yale yote iko.
It is in the regulations. I think as members discuss, let us go through that, then we can answer. You proceed in the meantime. Honorable Gideon.
Honorable Speaker, now this is just an amendment and a matter to regularize the issues as raised by salaries and remuneration, and additionally to conform with what the Controller of Budget issued in terms of guidelines. Honorable Speaker, I don't have much to say myself now that the committee has given a recommendation in that particular report. And as a member who would wish that this is fast-tracked to avoid any eventuality, on our end, I support this particular report, Honorable Speaker.
Mheshimiwa Speaker,
Honorable Fred.
ningependa pia kupata habari kuhusu. Nimesikia mheshimiwa akiongea hapo sema ni marekebisho. Nimefuatilia sioni. Nafikiri Mheshimiwa Speaker, leo tuko na bahati kwa sababu tuko na ile katiba ya Kenya marekebisho vile imeandikwa. Mheshimiwa Speaker, inasema wasi ya kwamba umerekebisha hoja namba fulani kwa namba fulani, lakini ukiangalia hii ni habari ya kamati. Mheshimiwa Speaker, kwa sababu umetuambia na nasikia vile mheshimiwa amesema, sioni yale anasema kwamba kuna mahali imerekebishwa. Kamati wamekaa chini, wametengeneza habari yao, wametuletea hapa. Mheshimiwa Speaker, Mheshimiwa Speaker, hiyo ndio ningependa kupata habari kama kuna sheria mbili, kwa sababu kila mara tukirekebisha tunaletewa ile ya kwanza na ya pili. Mheshimiwa Speaker.
I will respond to that next. Any other member? Honorable Walter.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also rise to support this motion by Honorable Pambok, Honorable Speaker, because it solely gives effects to the legislations that was cited by the circular from the Controller of Budget, Honorable Speaker. And number two, Honorable Speaker, when you look at the recommendation that has been quoted by Honorable Chair, it says that the committee, having found that the regulations to be in consensus with the Constitution and all the enabling laws, Honorable Speaker, we want to support the Chair so that the money, the funds that were given by us, by the government, Honorable Speaker, can be legally acquired, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, without much ado, I think this is self-explanatory. We should pass it so that we can give effect to the loans to be granted, Honorable Speaker. I support.
Information.
Honorable Gideon.
Honorable Speaker, I want to inform the Honorable Fred that on the background of Nandi County Assembly Fund Regulation 2021, the point is, it is being highlighted there is that the regulation seek to merge and consolidate Nandi County Assembly car loan members scheme number 4 of 2018 and Nandi County Assembly mortgage members scheme number 5 of 2018. It means the change here or the amendment here is to consolidating the two funds. Thank you.
Honorable Fred.
Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nimesimama siungi mkono hii sheria Mheshimiwa Spika. Ya kwanza Mheshimiwa Spika, nimeona kuna ukurasa nimeona ya kwamba inasema Mheshimiwa Clerk atakuwa na mamlaka ya kuchagua wale mastafu. Lakini mahali ya kusema ati Mheshimiwa watakuwa kwa hiyo kamati sijaona. Sasa inamaanisha kwamba basi sisi hatutahusika na hiyo. Sasa unajua kuna hii bunge kuna maneno mengi sana. Utasikia ati pengine hiyo kamati kwa kiluke ya mambo service board watakuwa taamua. Lakini hapa ndani sijaona sheria kama hiyo. Sisi tulichagua kamati wanne na hatujaonyeshwa jinsi ya kuchagua watu. Bunge ndio itapitisha, Mheshimiwa Clerk atachagua, Mheshimiwa Speaker ama atachagua, sijaona Mheshimiwa Speaker. Na pia kila mara tunafanya marekebisho. Mimi tayari niko na pesa nilikuwa nimeomba. Ndio nimejaribu kuuliza ni walitumia sheria gani ndio niombe hiyo pesa. Kwa sababu tulipitisha sheria hapa bunge kwa ile mwaka mwingine iliyopita. Kuna sheria tulipitisha ili turuhusu tuendelee kufanya mambo kama haya. Tungeambiwa kwa ile sheria ya pande hii inarekebisha. Mheshimiwa Spika, ukiangalia sasa hata loan kwa hii bunge, kwa hii assembly yetu vile wamepeana kulingana vile wanajuana. Kuna wale wanahangaika mpaka saa hii wameenda bank kuomba pesa na tuko na pesa hapa. Na hapa sioni kama tunasema Mheshimiwa Clerk wetu ni mzuri. Na akitoka mwingine akuje utajuaje na hii ni sheria ya milele Mheshimiwa Spika. Tungependa kwa sheria ikue wasi ya kwamba waheshimiwa kama waheshimiwa wanne itachaguliwa na waheshimiwa wale wengine tuweke sheria hapa ndani. Ama tuseme ya kwamba kama Mheshimiwa Clerk atakuwa na mamlaka yote, sasa mimi nitakuwa na ruhusa gani kuchunguza yale inafanyika? Kama mimi kwa muda wa saa hii mimi ndio kiranja wa Justice Committee. Kama committee yote wale wa justice wako pale ndani, Mheshimiwa Speaker, nini itafanyika Mheshimiwa Speaker? Mheshimiwa Speaker, lazima tutengeneze sheria inalinda kila mtu. Hata kama mtu hatuelewani naye kama mheshimiwa mimi na mfanyakazi, lazima apate haki yake. Mheshimiwa Speaker, uliangalia nafikiri siku nyingine nilikuwa nalalamika kuhusu wale walipewa loan. Kama mimi ningekuwa pengine ningekuwa mkiranja wa hii bunge kama speaker ama clerk, mimi ningeanzia wale wanakula mshahara ya chini kwa sababu hawawezi kujenga chochote. Hapa bunge yetu walianzia wale wako na mshahara mingi zaidi, wakapewa loan na yeye anaweza kujenga nyumba. Sasa wale wanashika mshahara ya chini hawajawahi jenga nyumba mpaka saa hii kwa sababu walikatashwa loan na hawajapata mpaka saa hii. Mheshimiwa Speaker, tungetaka tutengeneze sheria yenye inalinda kila mtu. Hiyo ndio maana nikasema hii sheria mimi sitaunga mkono, ingawa nimepitia kwa muda, nimeangalia nikaona hapana, yale inafanyika ni yale ilifanyika siku ile. Naomba waheshimiwa wapitie, waangalie, sisi ni waheshimiwa wakati huu. Kuna siku watu watakuja kuuliza sheria nani alipitia hii sheria. Tunataka sheria ya kushika kila mtu kwa hii bunge, Mheshimiwa Speaker. Kwa sababu hata sisi tukiwa waheshimiwa tunaweza tofautiana kwa siasa. Saa zingine tunatofautiana kwa kamati, saa zingine kwa mswada bungeni, lakini kwa sababu ya hii ni sheria itatusaidia. Lazima tuangalie kwa makini, tuhakikisha kwamba yale yote tunafanya bunge hii inalinda kila mtu. Mheshimiwa Speaker, ukiangalia sasa yangu haikuangi uongo, wala wanaendesha magari kwa hii bunge, kama ni waheshimiwa, kama ni wafanyakazi, ni wale walipewa pesa, walipewa loan ya kutosha. Siku gani ule mtu watchman wa hii bunge atakuwa anaendesha gari? Ni siku gani ule mtu anatengeneza chai county assembly ataendesha gari? Ni siku gani ule anafagia hii nyumba ataendesha gari? Mheshimiwa Speaker, sheria kama hii imemfungia Mheshimiwa Speaker, kwa sababu unajua wale wanapendwa na Mheshimiwa Clerk kama Mheshimiwa Speaker ama Mheshimiwa Fred watapata loan. Lakini lazima tuangalie nani atafaa kufuata loan, tuweke sheria kama hiyo ili kila mtu afaidika. Mheshimiwa Speaker, unajua dunia hii ni ya Mungu. Ule mtu alio chini siku moja atakuwa juu. Mimi siku moja nilikuwa makanga, Mheshimiwa Speaker, sikujua nitanunua gari, lakini kwa sababu ya Mwenyezi Mungu na ile sheria iliwekwa Kenya hii ikanisaidia nikakuwa mheshimiwa. Sasa ule mtu watchman pia tuweke sheria ya kwamba hawa ndio wataanzia mshahara, wapate gari, waendeshe gari yao ili wafaulu. Mheshimiwa Speaker, mimi kama mheshimiwa nimeomba loan, lakini ile pesa nalipa juu yake iko chini. Wale walienda bank, mtu akiomba milioni moja atalipa 1,300 juu yake ama 1,250. huyo mtu atakuwa ameumia, Mheshimiwa Spika. Tuangalie yale tunajua ya kwamba itasaidia hii bunge. Sisi wote Mungu ametubariki. Ule mtu mwenye wako gate pale si ati yako kwa makosa, ni kazi yake. Mimi nikifika hapa ni kazi yangu, lakini tuhakikishe Mheshimiwa Spika wapate haki yao, tuweke sheria ndani ili tuangalie. Mheshimiwa Spika, kama ingekuwa hivyo ningeomba wewe utupatie muda hata wiki ujao, hakuna haja kuharakisha. Tukuja hapa tukae chini tuangalie kwa hii bunge ya kwamba wale wote wale hawakupata loan ilikuwaje. Mimi kila mara nakujanga bunge hii nauliza.
End of invocation, Speaker.
Honorable Walter.
Honorable Speaker, allow me to inform Honorable Fred that we are dealing with Kakran, not the issue of Kalon, Honorable Speaker. So when you read at the plenary bench, Honorable Speaker, that these regulations may be cited as the Nandi County Assembly Scheme Fund, Kakran, Regulation 2021, Honorable Fred. So we are talking about Kakran, which only entails the Speaker and the members of the County Assembly. We are not talking about the Kalon. Thank you.
Honorable Fred, before you can
Unajua
answer.
nashangaa Mheshimiwa Spika.
Honorable Fred.
Ile pesa nimepewa sirudishi, unatengeneza sheria ya nini? Hii pesa naenda naye sirudishe siku nyingine. Nikipewa hiyo pesa nitaenda naye nyumbani. Sasa unatengeneza sheria ya ile mtu anarudisha. Sinasema loans, kuna mali sema loan. Sasa wewe unaniambia vitu gani na anaelewa ya kwamba
Honorable Fred, I think you've made your point. I needed to understand this. For today, we were just amending for purposes of the grant. As you've seen, the Controller of Budget had written a letter. Honorable Fred, so the Controller of Budget had written a letter about that. However, it doesn't stop us again to revisit on the issue, because Honorable Fred is targeting on the issue of staff, and there's a scheme for staff. Unknown to Honorable Fred, we have made an effort to ensure that we balance, and in fact, we're supposed to have a staff meeting this week to be able to review where we are. Like, for your information, I can confirm to you that if you look at the cleaners, 2 of them, so far so good, have been able to receive the loan. Number 2, you have a case of the drivers, at least 2. So the challenge has been, and Honorable Walter is aware, we were hoping that maybe last year, a member is out of order with a phone ringing. You remember last year, we had hoped to recover the monies on time from the county executive, so we thought we would use the same to disperse to staff and have them repay by the time the next lot of members are coming in. But the other option we had was to get money from our current scheme and give to the staff. But you know, thanks to our prudence, we were a bit skeptical about mixing the two. I'm imagining a case where we had done that, then the honorable members at the moment would be talking a different story for you after this one came through. So the concerns of Honorable Fred can still be catered for. Nothing, a regulation is not permanent. I needed to inform Honorable Fred on 2 aspects. Number 1, the members of the scheme, the ones that the regulations picked as appointed as the clerk, they're generally appointed by the House. The clerk only writes a letter to them for the members. That's why we had Chairman, Honorable Komen, Honorable Pius. But I agree with you. If you would want it to be specified in a better way, that can be done. But that can come. Nothing stops us. The committee is at liberty. I will even tell the committee to still go back, pick the comments on Honorable Fred. We can also consider them, because there's no harm in specifying those ones. Number 2, for the one for the staff, it can still come to the House. The same can be considered. For today, we were restrained purely to ensure legality for the grant alone. Then other aspects of the regulations, because we always have the regulation with us. In fact, it's only that this time the issue of car grant came, that's why we considered them. Otherwise, we would have considered amendments for the things Honorable Fred is raising, both for the staff and for the members. I want to remind the Honorable House that you remember even the standing orders. We may have issues with the standing orders, but it is up to for example, the Rules and Procedure Committee to be able to amend. So the concerns, I hope the Chair, Delegated Committee, Delegated Legislation has been able to pick the comments raised by Honorable Fred on other issues, ensure the same is captured. Next person. Judging by the mood of the House, I think I'll be forced to put a question that the House adopt the motion, the report of the Delegated County Legislation Committee on Nandi County Assembly Funds Regulations 2021, laid on the table of the House on 24th February 2021. Will as many as of a similar opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. So, honorable members, I think the chair, delegated committee, we've already recorded all the issues Honorable Fred has raised. We will pick them up, and we ensure that then we can report back. In fact, Honorable Fred has previously raised a statement on the floor of this House regarding the distribution of loan to the staff. I'm directing Honorable Komen, being the service board vice chair. We will be able to, we want it to be formal. We want a statement will come from Honorable Fred, and we'll have to respond and give a breakdown. Because I remember something like that. We need to give a breakdown to Honorable Fred's concern to be able to ascertain whether it has been fair so far with the ones we have. So, Honorable Fred, is that agreeable to you?
Mheshimiwa Spika, hata nimeshukuru kwa uamuzi wako Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa sababu hata mimi nilichakuliwa kwa hiyo kamati, lakini ingawa mnasema Honorable Komen kuita mkutano ni ngumu sana. Mheshimiwa Spika, wakati wananchi walikuwa wanalalamika, unajua yeye amekuwa kwa service board. Sasa si wakati alienda mkutano anakupatia message sasa umeingia, mpaka sasa hatujawahi kaa chini. Nafikiri waheshimiwa wako hapa. Ningependa tena tutoe uamuzi ya kwamba Honorable Komen akae kwa service board, mwingine achakuliwe Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa sababu hakuna siku utaambia mtu mwenye alikuwa anafanya yale mambo akuja kuwe chairman tena Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa sababu yeye alipagua wale wengine. Alafu wewe unaleta kwa hii kamati ni kama kusuia Mheshimiwa Spika. Hiyo ndio ningependa kusema ya kwamba hiyo kamati ikuwe tofauti. Service board wakae kando, sisi tukae kando. Tuangalie tusaidie hao watu, kwa sababu wakati hata tuliongea juu ya pesa. Nafikiri Honorable Komen alikataa kuita sisi kabisa. Kuna milioni 20 tulikuwa tunafuatilia kwa waheshimiwa. Tangu siku hiyo nikakuja nikamwambia kamiti tumefanya, nikamwambia wajifanye tu kamiti, lakini yeye mwenyewe kasi yake hii si yake ni ile. Mheshimiwa Spika, ningeomba hivyo Mheshimiwa.
Honorable Fred, I think I have no powers to interfere. Before I can give comment right of reply, the committee members are at liberty. I don't know how many members you are. That is housekeeping. You can agree among yourself on how to proceed on the same. When it comes to leadership of committee, the Speaker cannot be able to direct who can be, who cannot be. But you are at liberty, and you've made a fair comment. But on that bit of statements, we'll follow it up. Honorable Komen, any comment?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me put the records straight. We've been meeting. We've been calling him to come for meetings. He does not come, and he complains the loudest here. I'm telling you, if I'm lying, my vice chair is here. My vice chair is here.
Take a seat.
Our clerk is there.
Take a seat. You are out of order, Honorable Komen. We are out of order. Take a seat, Honorable Fred. We cannot settle committee squabbles on the floor of the House.
True.
The other honorable members are not members of the committee. They wouldn't even know who is saying the truth or not. It is not in decorum. And Honorable Komen, that's why I've ruled you out of order. As a chair of the committee, the only thing that can happen is for the committee members. I think I sorted that last time. There was that issue about other committees. I remember the Committee on Trade, Committee on Roads, and I said it can only be handled at the committee level. It cannot be settled on the plenary. So that one, we cannot allow exchange between members of the committee. Honorable Fred, you are on a point of order.
Ya kwanza hoja nidhamu ya kwanza Mheshimiwa Spika, kipengele namba 90 Mheshimiwa Spika. Inasema wazi ya kwamba Mheshimiwa lazima athibitishe yale anasema Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa atuoneshe ile, kwa sababu kwa kiluga mambo unaandikiwa message Mheshimiwa Spika. Yeye atuletee wiki ujao hapa aseme niliandika siku hii fulani na ikutua Mheshimiwa Spika. Ya pili Mheshimiwa Spika, Mheshimiwa aliyeongea Mheshimiwa Spika, kuna siku tulikuwa tumeitisha habari ya pesa ya kila mtu. Mpaka sasa haijawahi fika bungeni Mheshimiwa Spika. Yala anasema yote na ni ndio anasimamia. Tulimchagua sisi, mimi ni mtu ya Jubilee. Tulimchagua Mheshimiwa Spika atupatie hata kama ni siri. Kila mtu apate yake Mheshimiwa Spika, lakini hajawahi fanya jambo kama hiyo. Kwa sababu tunataka tupate habari kamili ya hii bunge.
Honorable Fred, on that second point which I think I already made direction, Honorable Komen will have to respond back on the same. On the first one, you are right, and that's why I ruled him to be out of order, because none of the members were in the meeting, and we cannot again come and settle committee issues on the floor, but that will be the same. So I will direct the chair of the committee. The issues raised by Honorable Fred, we have recorded in the Hansard. We'll write it down nicely so that you'll refer back. Honorable Boambok, chair delegated, on the matters that maybe need your attention on the regulations, we can revisit and refer to them. Next order.
Order number 9, adjournment.
The House adjourns until tomorrow session.